Well, good Thursday morning, everybody. And as they say in the Midwest, if you don't like the weather, just wait a day. It's considerably cooler today. I don't know. I liked yesterday better, though yesterday got awfully windy. So the changing weather, of course, it means that my sinuses are giving me a bit of grief today. So let that be as it may. We'll get through this devotion. So anyway, it is Thursday, March 11th. Praise God. And we are in verses 11 to 16 in the third chapter of Acts today. If you remember, yesterday, Peter and John have entered the city, and they have encountered the man lame from birth at the beautiful gate, at the east gate, or it's also called the Golden Gate. And remember that this is not the current gate that is there in Jerusalem. Remember that this gate is now below that gate because of the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD and the rubble and all of that. So it's not the same gate that you would see today. And again, that gate is blocked off anyway. You can't enter that gate. 16 foot of concrete prevents one from going through it. Won't stop Jesus though, will it? Anyway, because that's the gate he comes through. Remember. All right, so we're going to look at verses 11 to 16 in the third chapter of Acts today. And here we're continuing on. Peter is going to jump into what is known as his second sermon. The second sermon of the Christian church is what we have here, that wasn't given by Jesus anyway, so that we know of. Anyway, so let's jump into 11 to 16 in the third chapter. While he clung to Peter and John, all the people ran together to them in the portico called Solomon's Portico, utterly astonished. When Peter saw it, he addressed the people. "You Israelites, why do you wonder at this? Or why do you stare at us, as though by our own power or piety we had made him walk? The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, the God of our ancestors, has glorified his servant Jesus, whom you handed over and rejected in the presence of Pilate, though he had decided to release him. But you rejected the holy and righteous one and asked to have a murderer given to you, and you killed the author of life, whom God raised from the dead. To this we are witnesses, and by faith in his name itself has made this man strong, whom you see and know, and the faith that is through Jesus has given him this perfect health in the presence of all of you." Okay. Well, the man had been walking and jumping and all of that just previously, and now he's so excited and so thankful that he's holding on to Peter and John and embracing them in an embrace of gratitude. We're led to believe, and of course, as it implies in the end there, all of these people knew this guy. He'd been there every day. The people that were commonly going into the temple had seen this guy by the gate for years. So they knew who he was. They see him walking around. Never saw that before. So they're quite excited and interested. What in the world is going on? And of course, the part of this message that we take away for ourselves is the fact that immediately Peter and John do not claim the credit. I mean, it would be easy for them to say, "Oh, look at how wonderful we are that we have this power. Look at what we did for this dude. He's all better. Come follow us." But no, Peter immediately goes into saying, "It's not me. It's God. It's Jesus. It's this Christ. By the way, he's that guy you rejected and that you chose Barabbas over." Remember that story? When Pilate is trying to let Jesus go, and he has the tradition at the Passover of letting one of the condemned go, and he gives them the choice between Jesus and Barabbas. And if you remember what I've mentioned about that, and an interesting thing is I've always maintained this, and yet I'd never heard another commentator or pastor or anyone mention this aspect of the name of Barabbas before, but yesterday I did, and golly, that guy must have been a genius that was saying that, because he has to be. And it wasn't even one of my videos. It was somebody else. Anyway, Barabbas, son of Abba, Father. Son of the Father, Jesus, the Son of the Father. And so you had these two, same name. Barabbas was, we believe, an insurrectionist, someone who was leading an armed revolt. Probably the two other thieves on the cross that died with Jesus probably were his companions in this insurrection. Barabbas is the leader, but the people chose the man of violence, the man of action, if you will, the man of violence, and they chose him over the man who was coming in peace, that was wanting to show the world what could be accomplished through love and grace. And that's something we are sorely lacking in the world today, is grace. I look across this nation especially, but the world entirely, and I see very little grace from one to another. I see most of us, I see very much an attitude of revenge is what is on people's mind, very humanly thing. And that's, of course, what they had on their mind. They wanted Barabbas because he's going to lead an armed revolt against the Romans. We want revenge. And remember in Luke, they do this when the wood is green, what will they do when it's dry? And it's volatile, and we know what's coming. So the part we take away from this for our own selves, our own lives, is the fact that they are not trying to claim, they're not trying to glorify themselves. They understand what they're doing is by the blessing of Christ. That what they do, everything they do, their entire lives, the image they project, all that they do is done to raise up and to glorify Jesus. And that is the way they're living their lives. And that's the message we need to take away from this, is how we live our lives. All the things that we do, any activity we engage in, whatever it may be, we need to remember, does this glorify Jesus? Or does this somehow glorify us? Or does it, or even worse, does it diminish the body? Is it giving people a reason to attack the body? We're all hypocrites in some way or another, and we all fall short. So we all have failings, but let's try to keep those failings under control, so that we remember that our activities are to be to God's glory. That all the words we say, all the actions we do, we need to be lifting up God. So with that, I'm going to leave you for today. Don't forget, it is Thursday, so that means there is drive-through communion tonight from 5 to 5:15. Might be a little breezy out there for me, but we'll get her done. And then I'll come back at 7 and post up a song or something. I haven't looked yet. That's something I've got to do yet today, is to find whatever I post. So I got to go looking for something. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead and, the song you'd like to hear, go ahead and post it below this. Here, why not? Give me some insight, some direction if you have some. So with that, have a very blessed day, and please, 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 as I always say, be a blessing to someone today. Tell them about Jesus if you would. Okay? Please. Bye-bye.